I never thought it would conclude like this. I never pictured him walking away, nor imagined that our story would fade out with such quiet finality. In a single moment, with words barely more than a whisper, everything shifted. I can't keep living like this. The words escaped me softly, more confession than confrontation, spoken to the empty spaces in my heart rather than to him. Yet he heard them. I had prepared myself for a storm, raised voices, tears, pleas, or even a desperate promise that we could mend what cracked between us. I braced for anything but silence, but there was no eruption of emotion, only stillness. His eyes didn't blaze with anger or cloud with confusion. They were hollow, as though time itself had carved them out. My words weren't a revelation to him, but a faint echo of something he had already known. Then he did something I hadn't imagined. He stepped close, his breath warm against my skin, and pressed a gentle kiss to my temple. Not a kiss of passion or urgency, but one of farewell, a tender acknowledgement that our chapter had ended. Without speaking, he reached for his coat, slipped it on, and walked out. The door shut with muted click, leaving me frozen in place, wrapped in a silence heavier than any fight we'd ever had. I didn't follow. I didn't call after him or beg him to stay. I just sat there, a hollow ache spreading through me, anchoring me to that moment. As soon as the words left my lips, I knew I had crossed a line we could not return from. Yet I hadn't expected this emptiness, this quiet unraveling. I thought there would be chaos, tears, a clash of words that might somehow break us open and bring us back together. But there was nothing, only a deep, smothering quiet that felt like a fog settling over the room. His face stayed calm, unreadable, as if he were absorbing the weight of my admission. I can't keep living like this, I'd murmured, never truly meaning for the truth to slip out. But it did, and in that instant, everything changed. It had been coming for so long, hadn't it? The slow drip between us, the silent hurts, the exhaustion creeping into our lives like an unrelenting tide. We weren't a couple anymore, not really. Just two people bound by routine, moving through the motions, tied by responsibility but not by love. Somewhere along the way, the fire we once had burned itself out. As I waited for him to react, I realized I had waited too long to speak, too long to face what I had buried. This wasn't a marriage anymore. It was a pattern, a checklist, an illusion. No amount of pretending could breathe life into something already gone. He finally looked at me, gave a small, sorrowful nod, a silent acknowledgement of what we both knew. No defense, no denial, just acceptance. He rose slowly, and I tensed, unsure what would follow. Would he lash out? Would he finally say the things we'd both been avoiding? But he didn't. He took a steady breath, leaned down, and kissed my temple. That kiss held everything. Our joy, our pain, our shared years, and the inevitability of the end. Then he turned and left, his footsteps fading down the hall as the door closed behind him. I didn't stop him. Maybe because deep down I knew this wasn't only his decision. It was mine too. We had both brought ourselves here. Both too worn down to fight for what we once treasured. But knowing that didn't make it hurt any less. The next morning was unbearable. The children woke early, their bright voices filling the house as I moved with motions, mixing batter, pouring juice, tying tiny shoes. But everything fell out of balance. The house was quieter, the silence sharper, cutting into me. His side of the bed was untouched. His shoes no longer lined up at the door. His coat no longer hung in the hallway. Our home, once full of chaotic warmth, felt like an empty shell. I kept glancing at the door, waiting for him to return, to say something, anything, but he didn't. The silence stretched on, and with every passing day, his absence grew heavier. I missed him, not just the person he was, but the way he could pull a laugh from me even when I fought it.